Well, we finally did it. We bought a pontoon boat. Oh yeah, first time on the pontoon boat. Drives like a Cadillac. Hello again, everybody. So welcome to another installment of The Real Lazy, which we finally came up with a little bit of a name for her, because whenever we're driving around on a pontoon boat, we actually feel really lazy. It's really nice. I'm so hooked now on a pontoon boat, but we're not giving up sailing. I mean, love it. So we finally got the floorboards off. Right there's the floorboards hanging up over there. Got kind of my wood yard going around here. I'm going to get new plywood here in a week or so and start on that. But today we are actually going to start dismantling the console here. I'm going to definitely be rebuilding a new one out of marine plywood. But I don't know exactly how I'm going to cover this. This is kind of, I'm going back and forth between covering it with vinyl, because we do have a lot of vinyl left with the foam underneath and all that good stuff, or I'm definitely going to build it out of marine plywood and covering it with possibly epoxy and fairing it and give it kind of a real smooth look. I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. Another thing too is this console has these metal rounded edging, and I'm wondering if I can incorporate that or not. They're on both sides up front here. It kind of gives a round edge right here, which I could probably do the same thing with the router and epoxy with like chop strand or biaxial mat. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just going back and forth between how to cover this thing. So as I dismantle it and think about it over a day or two, I might be coming up with something. I'm going to put a new circuit switch breaker board on it. It had a little piece of aluminum that had a switch hanging off of it. I don't know, it was kind of wild. I got new fishing rod holders, so I'm definitely going to do that. I'm also really thinking about making this thing a little wider. I think I want a little bit of a bigger console, and so I might do that also. The front of it had this big piece of plywood with carpet over it, and I guess they held it in with a little angle brace or something like that. I don't know. I might leave it open because I really like the storage aspect of having a bigger console and being able to throw some stuff under here that I need. Of course, I got to put the fire extinguisher on it somewhere. I'm also thinking about doing maybe a deck light over here, just to kind of shine up the floorboards at night, because I'm going to do some crappie fishing at night on this thing. So definitely got some ideas kicking in my head right now, and we're going to see how this turns out. But we can start building it with wood and kind of get going on it. Wish me luck. Well, tearing apart that console, and it got dark on me out here. So hopefully I don't get into the shadows here too much. Got my headlamp on, so hopefully everybody can see what I'm doing here. A little wrap up on tearing down the console. On my steering wheel, I ended up breaking a piece off right here, and this piece actually holds the center part in. I don't know, it's kind of a old steering wheel, so I might price a new steering wheel to go with my new console. So we got a couple of things going on. I am definitely not going to go with the vinyl. I thought about it, and I think the reason is that I'm not going with the vinyl is because I want to be able to use these metal corners that I was talking about earlier. They have a nice finish to them. I mean, of course, I've got to clean them up and finish them. They hold 1/2-inch plywood, and they're actually going to go on the front corners of the console. And I think if I clean these up, I think they're going to look pretty good with the plywood that I'm going to go ahead and epoxy and fair. So I'm going to use marine grade plywood. I'm going to epoxy it all, and I'm going to fair it out, and hopefully they are smooth enough where they don't look like painted plywood. And then over the corners, I'm going to probably use PVC trim corners, molding, to kind of clean it up really nice. I'm also going to make the actual console probably about 2 or 3 inches deeper and wider, like I was talking about earlier. So hopefully I've got some ideas about this console, and I hope it will come out nice and clean looking. I wish I could use Starboard, but Starboard is $320 a sheet for a 4x8. A 4x4 sheet of it is about $200. So I'm like, well, I've already got marine plywood, so I think I'm going to be able to use marine plywood. Yeah. But got some ideas, and I'm going to start cutting up some plywood. I might do that in the morning, though, because it is really dark out here. And in the morning, I might start getting this together and getting the epoxy going on it. So, ooh, did I get my finger in there? I keep getting my fingers in these doggone videos, and I'm going to have to stop that. All right, wish us luck. Well, what a beautiful day today. Oh my gosh, it turned out really nice out. So this is the next morning. It was a little dark last night when I was doing that last part of the video. We got all the marine grade plywood cut now. Tried to fit it together, but I need screws to do that. But got it a little bit wider. Got it about 2 inches deeper. Hopefully it'll hold my tackle box. I'm going to go ahead and start epoxying all the pieces. And I'm going to thicken some epoxy a little bit later on and try to fair out the outsides. So we're going to start on that. I also need to clean up these corners. I tried to clean them up a little bit, but I've got a lot of probably wire brushing to do on these to get them kind of, give it kind of a brushed aluminum look, I guess. I'm going to try to do that. So we're moving on. All right, we're in the garage, got everything cut. We've got the epoxy layers on it. Looks really good, looks really smooth. It's almost Christmas, so I had to put on some Christmas music. All right, I'm gonna screw this thing together. I've been going back and forth with where the steering wheel face plate, dashboard, I guess I should call it, is going to go here. I've been going back and forth between actually putting a fiberglass woven cloth on this and just fiberglassing it all together around in the edge, or using a PVC plastic type of trim along here. And I don't know, I've got the boards sealed really well, so they aren't going to have any water intrusion in them. But I'm going back and forth between doing that. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go ahead and do what they originally did and screwed it together, because they used blocks behind here and they screwed that dashboard right to the blocks. I might just go ahead and do that, and then I'll have that nice white trim that I'm going to do on, just make it look clean. So I'll probably do that. And then I've got my metal corners here. They turned out pretty good. They're kind of a brushed aluminum look here, so I'm probably going to brush them up just a little bit more and get to screwing this thing together. I'm waiting for this epoxy to actually thoroughly cure, and then I'm going to sand it down. And I've got some white topside paint that I used on the bass boat, so I'm going to go over it with that right there. All right, we're going to start screwing this thing together. Welcome back. So, of course, I got all the pieces cut. I'm going to try to make this kind of quick. I've got about 3 layers of Rust-Oleum topside gloss white paint on it. So hopefully this will withstand a lot of abuse. What I'm going to do is on the sides and the front, I'm going to actually put the pinstripes that are on the fencing, so hopefully they will match the fencing to an extent and kind of give it a little bit of a different look, because I've got a lot of gray going on the interior. I finally finished the top part of the console, and I was going to use marine plywood, but I ran out of the plywood that I had over here. And what I ended up doing was I ended up using 2 1/4-inch pieces of plexiglass, and I painted on the underside of the top piece, so it gives it a really smooth look. I don't know if you can see that, but I ended up using finished screws, stainless steel finished screws, and all that good stuff. Of course, I've got the hinge on the back, so this whole top can flip up. And this actually turned out really nice. I think what I'm going to do is put some blue LED lights in the console, probably on the sides, and it's going to give a little bit of a blue glow at night. Ooh. I'm also going to use the PVC angle trim on the side, which I've matched it up. It looks pretty good. I probably should have done the whole epoxy and rounded everything out, but this actually looks pretty good for the ghetto pontoon restoration that I am doing. So, like I said, I'm not trying to spend $5,000 on top of what I spent on the boat on a $4,000 boat, maybe, when I get done. So, but I think this is going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and start screwing this thing together, and I can't wait to see it actually assembled. Yes! Woohoo! I'm excited about this one. We finally got the console done. Got it all painted. Got fishing rod holders on it. Ended up going with a new stainless steel steering wheel on it. I think it looks a lot more classy. Got the breaker panel on it. I like these because they have a voltmeter on them, and they have USB ports on them. So, and I had to put alien lights on here. Had to pinstripe it a little bit. I wanted it to match the fencing on the rails. So I think it'll look good. I think it'll match. Kind of go good together, and it'll kind of break up a lot of the gray that I have in the interior of the pontoon boat. But not bad for a budget restoration on the console. Not too bad. Thank you for watching.
Is it on timer? We just unscrewed a boat! Parts of it.
Whoa, the fish finder just showed up.